This is Broken Clocks, a difficult Roblox escape room made by Ramen Express 1. Each level consists of 12 doors, which behind every door hides clever mysteries or puzzles. You're starting with the Roman numerals clock, a 2-star level. Inside the first door, we are met with a strange tower, also a pig. It didn't seem like much hints at first, until you realize that it already contains the key into solving this room. In the first image, you can see that it looks somewhat like a quote from another language. In the second, you can see the translation of the odd language to English by alphabets. This is a Pigpen cipher. It's a simple mono-alphabetic cipher where each letter is consistently replaced by the same symbol. They probably hinted that it was a Pigpen cipher by this pig, but who the hell knows what a Pigpen cipher is? This room barely needed thinking. The objects already hinted at the solution. I still continue walking around and clicking everything in case I don't miss anything, but it seemed like there wasn't much to be aware of other than this poster. This might say something later. This room seemed complex at first glance, but it wasn't really. It did make me question my assumption, but I went to a realization that everything was just layered. If you look closely on the front surface of the safe, you can see 4 carved imagery of objects, which are a key, a drawer, an ATM, and a debit card. It's safe to assume that the objects translates to a number that when we put in order, it gives out the number for the pin code. To obtain the first 2 numbers wasn't worth explaining. Unlike this one, if you look at the poster and put it beside the safe, you can see that under each numbers on the numpad are letters, where the word loan translates to 5626, which when entered in the ATM we get a currency with the number 4 on it. The next few rooms followed pattern recognitions, clean logic, and nothing deceptive. Until we get to this room, what gave me the impression wasn't because on the difficulty, but rather the creativity. You probably already catched up to this, but I'll explain it anyway. Basically, each element in the periodic table goes in order from 1 to 118, and the sheet given contains numbers of specific elements. Taking the symbol of the elements, when combined, forms a word of a color, which when entered in order we have successfully solved the puzzle. I didn't need more hints after seeing the cipher, especially being familiar with Minecraft ARGs. Weird thing is that the note says shift off 11 when it's actually 15. This room seemed interesting. To solve this is quite simple. Between the digits says all 4 and an image of a cube, as in combine all 4 cubes to think of a cube that shows digits in this room, which seems like a casino. It's pretty much a dice. 492. That's it. Oh. To unlock the gate of the sewer requires a 5-digit pin code. Where to find it is probably from the Sudoku. where the letters that goes in order can be found behind the meaning of these texts. That's under the toilet lid, which is a noun, epoch. This room doesn't require insane brainstorming, but just thinking outside the box. If you look at the note carefully, it says game description, with the capital circuit. Going to the game's description and writing down only the capitals, you get the shopping list, which you have to add them all up. What you are seeing now is a writing system called Braille. It's most used by people who are blind. Solving it is fairly easy, considering this is a 2-star level. To form a complete sentence, you must find all 12 papers, each hidden in 12 different conference rooms. Somewhere in these rooms, there's a room where it has a fun way to find the Braille symbols.
1 black, 2 black, 3 black, 4 white, 5 white.
It's a really interesting puzzle, so it seems that we have pretty much completed this level. That video you saw was recorded before the release of the new level, Modern Clock, which is a 4-star level. The first few curves of the room stayed consistent, until we get to this one. This puzzle is pretty smart and fun. There's 3 columns with digits in each box, and beside every lines are hints. Each line that goes in order is representing 1 digit in the line. Everything turned into a classic logic deduction puzzle. Eliminate the impossible numbers, lock in what's confirmed, and slowly narrow it down. If you have catched up, most posters you see throughout this video underlines or highlights important keywords. Looking at the menu, you can see odd descriptions under each drinks. These odd descriptions are hinting to specific posters. Therefore, to solve this, you have to go in order to each posters and grammatically structure the underlined words so it forms a sentence. The next room was a constellation puzzle. We have to connect the blinking stars in order shown on the paper. Simple once you notice it. This is an at-best cipher, a simple mono-alphabetic substitution cipher where alphabets are reversed. It's a pretty easy room. Most of the remaining rooms followed the same philosophy. Clear hints, no tricks, just attention. Like this one where you have to step on the tiles in order, and also this one where you have to go to specific machines and arrange their letters in order. Finally, we have entered the second final room for this level. But among all the other rooms, this was probably the longest. It does seem complicated at first glance, however, but once you understand how to do it, it won't be much of a problem. Basically, the repair log is describing specific gas pumps, where it goes in order by the date. Each gas pump has a label, so if you look at the first note we saw, and you translate the label we get from the pump, it forms a letter. Compared to the 2-star level, this level started being rich on structure, which made it satisfying. Anyways, thank you for watching.